staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually buried, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the party's mixed, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's pantless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 208 of Fired Up Sports. Check us out at firedupsports.com. I'm Mike Giletto. Joining me as always, Dom Console, Mark Ramos. What's going on, guys?
Oh,
What's going on?
A lot of exciting stuff. The Phillies have clinched the NL East. It's always a good thing. And with, a couple weeks to spare, just completely ran away with it there at the end. It's always nice when it's against the Mets, and the Mets are falling, which is nice to see. Still hoping they miss the playoffs, but we shall see.
there's a good chance they miss the playoffs.
They're, I think, a game and a half up right now of, is it Arizona?
It's Arizona, and I think it might also be the Giants.
The Giants are a half game back of Arizona.
Okay.
So I think it's a game and a half and then 2 games. But the Diamondbacks and the Giants, I think, play each other right now. So
Yeah, that works in the Mets' favor.
theoretically,
Yeah. Do you know who the Mets play?
the Mets play. They play somebody shitty, and I forget who.
They definitely play somebody.
I'm thinking of the Marlins. The Marlins, I think, play somebody shitty. Hold on, I'll look it up and say I should have been prepared for this.
I think they have 2 hard series and then 2 easy series. I think.
The Mets are kicking the shit out of the Padres right now.
Okay.
8-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. So stay tuned for How Will the Mets Fuck This Up, part 75.
Yes.
I don't know if they still are, but Cincinnati's in that mix too.
And they fell off a little bit. They had a really bad August.
Yeah.
I could pull it up now. Oh, you know what? They've actually been playing decent the last week or so. They're only 2 games back of the Mets. It was more. It was 4 or 5, I think, a week or 2 ago. So
Yeah, just a couple days ago, they were just barely straddling 500, I think. And so,
yeah. Listen, we're all rooting against the Mets. It's an easy thing to do.
yeah, for sure. That was nice, though. It was nice to see them wrap up the division. So, especially after not being able to do it at home, I'd like to go out on the road right away in that LA game, get business done. And that, I think, was that was a good thing.
I think it's the earliest they've ever clinched an NL East title for the Phillies specifically. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. They haven't had that many. Like how many divisions have they won in the
They've been to the playoffs 16 times in their 100 plus year history.
Right. Exactly. So a stat like that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel a little weird. Like, this is the 4th straight season, right? They're going to the postseason, and it feels almost like, wow, that's a really long time for us. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Seasons. So.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of crazy now you think about it. I don't know. That is interesting to think about.
Yeah.
But I guess obviously it happened late last night. Everybody, I can't imagine there were too many people on this side of the coast that were up for that. Up late for that game. I tried to make it. Fell asleep in the 4th inning.
You went longer than I did.
Yeah.
I was I watched the first inning. I saw Schwarber homer, and I was like, all right, I'm checked out. I gotta go to bed.
It's late. It's very late. But yeah, it's it was nice to get it against the Dodgers. Obviously, playoff team we're going to compete with in the postseason. The Phillies, I mean, with a depleted lineup, right? You're missing Bohm, missing Turner. Obviously the Wheeler stuff that happened. Like they're playing really good baseball right now.
Yeah, I mean they're even missing Sosa's been out last
Yep.
two games. Obviously with Turner being out, he's a key piece. He's already a key piece to this team, but especially when you have Trey Turner out for X amount of games. But yeah, I mean it's really nice to see them kind of fully put it together. It's really nice to see the bottom of the order kind of the Brandon Marshes, even though he's had a pretty good year overall. Like he's been pretty consistent. I know that first month and a half or whatever it was, he didn't have a hit in April. I know that was rough. I'm not the biggest Marsh guy in the world, but I will sit here and say that he has definitely turned a corner, especially somebody. Where'd you go, Mike? Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I was fixing my computer. My apologies.
But yeah, no. So I mean, guys like Marsh, even JT, who started off, really, really, really streaky and kind of found his rhythm about halfway through the season. Who else am I thinking of? Bader obviously coming in.
Bader's been great.
I mean, we kind of talked about it on the podcast, like after the trade deadline. Like I think all of us were pretty like not excited, but like I can only speak for myself. I remember saying, I think this is a good move, but I really wish it was more. I wish we got another outfielder as well.
Yeah,
I think we all kind of agreed on that. But like, he's been great, offensively and defensively. I mean, who else? Kepler's like has done a 180, turned a corner, and like has just played like out of his mind. So it's really great to see the bottom of the order kind of really
even
hopefully they can ride it into October.
Even since Kemp got the call, Kemp's been really good since he came back up.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the whole group has. It's really encouraging, right? Like you just said, Dom. Like coming through October, you're hoping through October they're able to keep this up. But this is like this is around the time you kind of want to start playing like that. And
it's kind of like the Mets last year. Like the Mets
right.
really started like. I mean, they were hot about halfway through the season, but like they really hit their stride in September. I hate to compare to the Mets, but that's
yeah, no,
we live in right now.
Yeah, it's the time to do it, and it's really positive. It's really exciting to see them just kind of like keep rolling, no matter what adversity's been thrown their way. They've gotten some bad luck with injuries and things like that, and to keep rolling like they have been, and to not let the whole thing kind of fall apart was it's a testament to the group. And they've also been here before, so I think that there is a little bit of that too, like where I'm sure guys, we just mentioned like the fourth straight season they're going to the postseason. These guys are kind of accustomed to that now, so it's when you do face some adversity, because everybody's going to face it throughout 162 games, like it's nice to see them kind of continue on pushing through that, and putting the finishing touches on the Mets, a couple weeks ago, and here to further that gap for the division. That series goes the other way. All of a sudden, it's a very, very different story, different discussion we're having today. So, so all that's really, really encouraging, and I think peaking at the right times just as important as having all the right pieces in place, right? Like so. It's a good thing, that they're playing well like this right now.
For sure. And remember where we were when we were playing the Mets in New York, like a month ago. Like, going in there and like the whole like
sky was falling.
Yeah, right. And like just to come out and like kind of just do that 180 and just everybody's hitting, everybody's pitching well. Like Luzardo's pitching well, Rangers pitching well. The bullpen looks lights out right now. So yeah, let's just hope it's another month and a half of this.
Are they peaking too early? That's the question. That's the question I'm not going to answer. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's a sarcastic question. Although I'm sure WIP and the Fanatics
are
probably having that exact conversation.
Yeah.
Are they peaking too early?
That's the story of my life.
Yes.
We should put that out as a poll. we could be like WIP.
Yeah. Are they peaking too early?
Are
Tune
they
in.
peaking too early? Is Jalen Hurts a piece of shit? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That's what
WIP does like a good poll.
they love to like shit on Jalen Hurts. It's so much.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's funny to watch. But yeah,
It's a different conversation for a
Yes.
different day, or maybe the same day. Maybe we could talk about that later. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's really not many negatives right now with the Phillies. Obviously, like, in my opinion, like, bullpen's still kind of questionable to me. Kerkering let up a run last night. Like, he's kind of, you don't really know what to expect from Kerkering. Duran, I mean, he showed that he can obviously has it. He's a above average closer in the league, but like he still can be leaky at times. So we'll see. We're gonna need those guys in the postseason.
I love the trade. I love that he'll be here. He's a young
Yep.
guy. He throws hard. It's a lot of fun. The entrance is fun.
Yep.
I did not realize, and I don't know if this is like something like about him, like, but he gives up a lot of contact. Like for a late end guy that throws that much heat, and like I know the whole like saying, a lot of these guys that throw hard don't have stuff like they like it's just 103
Just
you know,
gas.
and there's no, but he does have like a little bit of movement on his 102 103 mile an hour pitches. He does give up a lot of contact.
Yeah.
And I obviously I didn't watch Twins games, but like I did not, like I was not aware of that, and it worries me a little bit because like last year, although I thought I'm blanking on his name, Estevez. Last year I kind of felt was similar where like I think Estevez gave up more hard contact than Duran does, but like it's very similar. When Estevez came here, it wasn't as lights out, but he wasn't as bad as like people said he was, but he did give up a lot of hard contact. It just was a lot of line drives and a lot of fly balls to the warning track. But like Duran doesn't do that, which is good, but he does give up a lot of ground balls, a lot of hard hit, fly balls to the outfield. So like I was not aware of that. So I'm a little, that's like the one thing I'm like a little, worried about, I guess, with him going into the postseason, but I want to see more strikeouts, hopefully. But yeah, that's the one thing I just did not realize.
You did not sign up for that.
No.
Are there numbers out there that like back, like, is that some research you did, Dom, or is that like
just the
something
eye
that
test.
you
Just the eye test.
just eye test? Okay, because I was wondering about that too. Because I mean, it does seem like that, and that's a good point. Where guys can throw hard, and that's all well and good, and it's fun to blow pitches past guys, but if it doesn't have some movement, or you don't have anything to mix it in with, these guys are going to get around on that. You know what I mean? And that's just, the guys at the plate are major league guys too, so, but that it's interesting. I'd be interested. I was trying to look, but
I'm sure you could like chat GPT it or something like.
Yeah.
I'm on Baseball Savant trying to look at like the fancy stats and analytics, and it's so out of my like element because I'm usually an eye test guy, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at. So I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, I guess to me it just feels like he gives up a lot of contact. Like I just feel like a lot of, there's you remember that, like it might have been his first outing or second outing, he had that 4-pitch inning, the 4-pitch save, like that he threw a strike, and then the next 3 pitches were ground ball, fly out, ground ball. Like it just I don't know. I guess it kind of feels that way. The numbers might say the opposite, but
no, I wasn't trying to like
no,
well,
absolutely.
the point. I was just
yeah, for sure. No, absolutely. I didn't take it that way.
Yeah, I was looking. I wanted to see if like there was, because I know that like today you can track all that, like all that stuff's out there, like soft contact.
So his hard hit percentage, and I assume this is what we were looking for, what you're looking for. His hard hit percentage is 41%, which is in the 45th percentile. So he'd be a slightly below average player, basically, when it comes to hard hit balls.
Do they have the league average on there for that?
No.
It
just says he's a 45th percentile, and he's 41%. So
I'm sure we could look up the average.
I'm sure we could. Use ChatGPT. I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, you use that every day. It's probably like on your home screen. You can just figure it out right now.
All right. So what should I put?
If we're gonna
The
do math on this show, I can't. Like,
yeah.
that was the
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
addition for this show
Yeah.
ever.
What is the average hard hit percentage in Major League Baseball 2025? Just search that on ChatGPT. See if we get some sort of result here. Although ChatGPT, what I've learned is you'll ask a stat like that, and then it'll give up some random number from
Yeah.
fucking 15 years ago.
You really have to you have to teach it. Like that's like you gotta hold his hand for a little bit, and like it's a robot like that. This is the whole reason why I'm doing it, so I don't have to hold your hand. So you could just give me the answer.
Right. That's exactly.
All right. So the average hard hit rate across MLB in 2025 is 43%.
And his was 41%. So.
And then it says if you want the value by AL versus NL or by hitters versus pitchers, I can pull that.
That's
too.
too much. That's too much for me to
Yeah.
calculate in my head. That's too
But
many.
take that with a grain of salt
variables.
because like it could be wrong.
No, that sounds about right because
Yeah.
it says he's in the 45th percentile at 41%. So 43% could get to the 50. Like that sounds about right.
There was one time I looked up something for the Phillies that I knew the answer to, and I looked it up anyway, and it gave me the wrong answer, and I messaged it back and said this is wrong, and it was like, oh, thank you so much. Like I'll
Yeah.
put it in my database. I was like, well, that's great.
And then his average exit velo is in the 51st percentile. So like, he's about average.
Just
when it comes to
just about a
hard
little bit
balls.
above average, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, he just doesn't
on
seem like
all of
he
that-
doesn't. Yeah, he just doesn't seem like he strikes out as many guys as I hoped.
Yeah.
His strikeout percentage is in the 83rd percentile.
Right, but like because how many guys he faces per nine?
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
What's he come out 3-4 times a week? Like,
Sure.
it's,
Listen, I'm just giving you the stat. This is
Yeah.
very not like me to be on a site like Baseball.
the homer he gave up
I'm-
yesterday was bad.
I'm so against like advanced analytics in anything, and so this is a big step for me that I'm on this Baseball Savant right now. I'm just saying, I'm proud of myself. I don't know what these numbers mean. I don't feel like doing fucking calculus.
lot of colors?
and looking at yeah. There's like heat maps, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, a lot
Well,
of
based
colors
on
going.
all of our research plus the eye test, we can reasonably
Yes.
infer here
Right.
that is true.
Yes,
So,
Correct.
yes. I
Not math guys.
yeah,
no,
definitely not.
no, definitely not. All right, you guys got anything else? I mean, other than kind of waiting for playoffs to start, and the Mets hopefully missing the playoffs. There's really not a whole lot going on.
No,
The only thing I could think of is, like, to me, it just seems wide open. Like, even on both sides, like, I don't think there's anybody in the AL. Like Toronto, like, are they like the best team in the AL? Like, honestly, the only team that probably like really worries me, and it should worry everybody, is Houston, because they're just the team that gets in and then they figure it out in the play. Like, they always figure it out in the playoffs, regardless how good or bad they are. I mean, I know Alvarez is out indefinitely, but
It's just that who
just
other than
got hurt
Alvarez,
today.
who in that lineup scares?
Ping has been really good this year.
All right.
Well, I'm just saying they have pitching that they're the team that always figures it out. When
Yeah, and the Phillies for some reason can't hit Framber. So
right.
although
He's a really
he's
good pitcher, but
he's a really good. Well, yeah, but when he's not throwing it 100 miles an hour at his catcher's head,
yeah, that was crazy.
that was wild. It was a wild move.
But yeah, that's all I got.
But it is wide open.
It just doesn't feel like the Dodgers don't like scare me that much. They're always dead.
But the Dodgers, their pitching's finally starting to kind of get healthy, come around a little bit,
Nah, I don't know. They don't scare me.
and their lineup's still their lineup. Like they have a good lineup.
I just think we face them very well. I think we match up very
Sure.
well.
Yeah,
Like Detroit only in the AL. Like
doesn't scare me at all.
no.
They haven't been there. Like, and other
They
than
were there last
Scooble-
year, but
I meant like making deep runs and shit. Like,
didn't they get to the?
nah, they didn't.
No, that was Kansas City, right?
Yep. hmm
That was crazy.
But like, other than Scooble, like, who's pitching for them? Like, they have Flaherty, who's like, Casey
Yeah.
Mize,
no, I know.
Like,
Flaherty can be good. I remember when he was in St. Louis.
yeah, he's
Like,
very
he-
good.
Yeah, he could be pretty crafty.
He had a good year last year.
Yeah. But this year he's kind of. I don't think he's been that great.
I didn't even know he was in Detroit.
Yeah,
Just
he was in Detroit. They traded him. Or no,
he wasn't in Detroit. He was in where was he at?
no, he went back to Detroit. I know that.
Did he?
Yeah,
I thought he was somewhere else last year. Was he not?
he was traded last year. I just don't know if he was traded to Detroit or from Detroit.
He was traded. Let me see this. No, he was never in the. Oh yes, he
that's
was.
what
Yes, he
I'm
was. Yes,
yeah.
he was. Sorry. Then he got traded to the Dodgers. Yes, correct.
Right.
Right. Then he went
And
back.
then back, and then he re-signed
Yes.
with the Dodgers. Yeah,
He was with the Dodgers last year. I don't remember.
at the deadline he was traded. Yeah,
Really? Yeah,
because
I don't
everybody
remember.
died. All their starters died,
I do
He
remember
started-
that.
He
Yeah.
started 10 games for them.
and then he pitched in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
But then like NL, like, does Milwaukee scare? Milwaukee doesn't really scare me. They have really good pitching.
Yeah,
But-
I just feel like if they become the Brewers in the playoffs, like it's just
Sure.
like the Mets are going to Met. I think the Brewers are going to Brewer. So
So you're saying it's a Phillies year?
well,
We
I'm
have
not-
seen also, like, if you're any of the other teams, you're saying the same thing about the Phillies. They don't scare me.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Like, if you were to say right now who the team to beat, you would say the Phillies.
I think most people think that the Phillies are. It's either the
Even-
Phillies or the Dodgers, at least in the NL.
Even though
I
we've
don't think
seen, I think people will pick the Dodgers more because like the lineup.
probably. Yeah,
because
and they,
like,
they
the
won
last,
last year.
in the last couple of years, we've seen kind of, this team can get cold in the playoffs, and when that happens, all bets are off. Like, and obviously with Wheeler, being out, and like the rotation's nothing to, is not all that great either.
Yeah, but you could also argue too that like before last year, the Dodgers were that team too. Like they were this great team, and then they hit the playoffs and they lose.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. All right, we can move on to the Eagles then. Kind of. I mean, listen, it's funny because like they got the win. That's the most important thing. But like, if I hear any more about the fucking tush push, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's all people keep talking about. It's all
Yeah.
people keep talking about, and it's just, I'm kind of over that discourse.
Yeah. The Chiefs kind of made a big deal out of it in this game. Just like with their antics,
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm. And I mean, like, in general, I mean, it's just that like it now has the name, right? But it's just like it's a QB sneak. It's been ran before.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Obviously, now you're allowed to like put. Before you weren't allowed to like push players and aid them.
well, sure.
Right, like, so that I guess is a wrinkle that you can do now that you couldn't do before that rule
Yeah,
change.
but that's been a rule for like 20 years.
Nah, it's been way.
It was 05.
No way.
Yeah, they did it in 05. It came back. I'm almost positive.
There's no way it's been around since 05. Like, I thought it was as recent as like 5 years ago.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Stop
Sure it's been 05.
Chat GPT that.
All right, you tell me what to say.
God, I don't even know. How would you say that?
All right, hold on. I got to put my microphone down.
All right, yeah, put the microphone down. And what are you saying? When did the rule change in the NFL that you're allowed to push the ball carrier as an offensive player or some shit like that? I don't know. I'm working here on the fly, Dom. I could have swore this was like 5-6 years ago. This rule changed.
Pre-2005, the 2005 NFL rule change.
All right,
Since 2005,
ChatGPT 's
teams have
wrong.
occasionally used the push, but the Eagles,
Chat.
ChatGPT might be talking shit right now, so I'm not gonna say that. But
Why is that what they say?
they're just talking about the Eagles. Starting around 2022, Jalen Hurts made it a stable play, bringing renewed attention and debate about whether it should be banned.
If it's been a rule since 2005, why are people like what took teams so
Because
long
only
to do
one
it?
team can run it. That's why. That's my theory.
And the quarterback bench is like 1,000
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same thing, when Jordan Love's running it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And I guess too, because like it's something that is so successful in changing, like extending drives basically.
yeah.
And I think that's the frustrating part. It's these they're scoring on these plays on the goal line, like, and it's so frustrating because like every other team runs it. They don't run it as well, whatever. But like, especially after this week, like with how many of the Chiefs players that were complaining about it and the fans and whatever, when like they weren't like all day yesterday and today and Sunday, like we were seeing, I don't know if you guys saw, but like they did like they showed the play as like a penalty or whatever. Like they were showing the one over and over again about the two guards when they would go over the line. Like, did you guys see that video going around? Well, like they didn't show the other three when like, the Chiefs player tried to punch the ball before they even snapped it, or the other three flags that they threw the other day or whatever it was that they threw for the Chiefs being offsides. Like nobody talks about that.
Anytime a team against the Eagles is trying to defend the tush push, the entire defense is offsides, but nobody ever wants to talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
The entire defense is offside every
like,
single time.
And like all these talking heads and all these people saying that like, like Adam Schefter, like this was lost in March and blah blah blah. Like just the fact that Butker missed a field goal, Mahomes missed 10 guys yesterday, especially a wide open receiver.
Travis Kelce dropped
that could have walked into the end zone. Travis Kelce dropped a touchdown that turned into a pick six. Almost a pick six. But, that's 17 points right there. Like,
yeah, right.
And they lost by 3. So like, stop. Like,
yep.
It's not over this one play that was ran 5 times that and one of them was a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, they wind up getting, taking it back, or they wind up running again the next play and getting in. But like, still, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it was ran 7 times for 5 yards. Literally, that's what the numbers are.
It's just, the fact that we're talking about it is often like you were saying, Dom, like about this being such a like public conversation with this thing, not realizing like, I mean, the Chiefs had opportunities to win that game, and they didn't hit on those opportunities. Like that Kelce play was a real killer for them because that was early in the fourth quarter, I think. And, and there were still opportunities later in that game for the Chiefs to get back into that game. So, I mean, the fact that this is kind of like the tale of like that game is kind of strange because it was, like there were a lot of missed opportunities, and like, I feel like there was less made too, that the Chiefs are also like the Chiefs are 0-2, you know what I mean? And they have like,
that's a big reason why this is a talking point.
Right. And they have like just a mash unit as far as like their receiver room right now. I mean, it's like they're in kind of like a world of hurt, you know what I mean? Like Rice is still suspended. Like there's a lot of like issues there that I feel like are getting glossed over in this conversation of like why they are where they are, and also why they lost that game in particular. And I don't know, but and even with all that said, I mean, like at least from the Eagles' perspective, I think we're looking at it more like we're still kind of waiting for the offense to kind of come along. You know what I mean? And I think Sirianni made a comment about that post game about the chung plays not really being hitting the chung plays as often as they would like. And through all of that, they're 2-0, and they're just a really good team. They're just really deep, and they don't have to have their best stuff every week. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's really, I think, what it comes down to. And even though I can understand the mild concern about the offense not looking as great, the defense has certainly looked good.
I do kind of want to piggyback off that a little bit too, where I do think that, like you're saying, like the offense is a little stale. I do think if the offense was running as it did, halfway through the year last year into the play, if it was running that way and they were still doing the tush push, I don't think there would be this much discord. And also, if the Chiefs scored those 17 points and won the game, I don't think this would be a talking point either, as big of a talking point. I think because of those two things specifically is a big reason why everybody is complaining still about the tush push. And I unfortunately think this is going to be the last year of it. I really think watching that game on Sunday and Dean Blandino or whoever was the ref, the first thing he literally said, and I looked at my wife and said, well, that's why. Like, this is why it's going to go away, is because he literally said, like, I don't know what to tell you guys. He said, I don't know how to officiate it. Like, he said, I don't know how to officiate.
Then get better at your job. Like, literally get better at your job. Football is not that difficult of a sport
But
to officiate. It's really not.
I will agree that it is very hard to officiate because there's so much going on, and there are plays that the Eagles do jump early, and there are plays that the defense jumps early, and there are plays that illegal things happen most of the time on that play.
Happens
For
every
sure,
play.
no, for sure. But like specifically on that play, I do think that there is a lot illegal going on. And I think that's the problem is it happens almost every single time. It just doesn't get called every single time, obviously, because it's very hard to run that play clean. So I think that's why there's like a lot of, and I think that's why he said it yesterday or Sunday rather, because you don't know how to officiate it. You don't know when to throw a flag or when not to throw a flag because it's such a crazy play. Forget the whole like it doesn't look like a football play. Like imagine them saying that when like the forward pass started in the NFL. Like
Sure.
Like it doesn't look like a football play. Like, that's such a bullshit excuse. The injury thing they tried doesn't work, but that's why
I also, for what it's worth, I also think saying it's hard to officiate is also a bullshit excuse.
That's going to be the reason, though. I'm not.
I understand it's going to be the reason, but I think it's also a cop out.
Yeah, I think that's what gets it over the goal line. That's what pushes it past the goal line. Of it getting with it getting banned. Because they tried the injury thing, they tried it doesn't look like a football play the last 2 years, and I just think the refs are going to come together, the union's going to come together and say like we can't officiate this, we have to get rid of it because which is stupid because like why do the refs care that much? Like,
right.
They're not involved in the actual outcome. Like, not that they're not involved in the outcome, but like they don't gain anything from a win or loss from a team unless
you don't know that, Dom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, unless they're gambling, but
I get better refs. If they can't officiate a play, they shouldn't be in the NFL. It's that simple.
I do think it's a hard play to officiate, but I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that they have to go above and beyond with trying to officiate this play, and I don't know if the NFL is like.
That's the thing. Like, you shouldn't look at it as it's hard to officiate the tush push. You should look at the tush push as, hey, we're going to call this as if it's any other play. If there's false start, we're calling it. If you're offsides and above the past the ball in the neutral zone, we're going to call it. Like,
yeah.
If you have to repeat the down 75 times, keep calling it until somebody does it. Or
they're just going to reward you.
I was going to say, or do what they did in the Super Bowl and threaten to just award a touchdown.
Championship game. Yeah, championship game.
Or it was the championship game. Yeah, you're right. But yes, it's just, I don't know. Saying it's hard to officiate is such a cop out.
I agree. I just think that's the excuse. That's what it's going to be. And I just don't think they're going to fight it 3 years in a row. Like I just think they're going to eventually get, the teams like the Rams and the teams that did vote for it this past year. I think they're going to convince them and say like,
I agree.
This is why it doesn't work.
I agree. You guys talked about it a little bit, the offense looking kind of stale, and obviously it's only 2 games, but I'm getting a little Brian Johnson vibes from Kevin Petula. Is that fair? Like the offense looks stale. There's really not much movement. Like, I don't know.
I guess my thought is that look at them last year. Like the way they started the season, it was very stale. It was they went. What did they start? 2-2 or whatever it was. I want to kind of see it play out a little bit. I also think that the chunk plays are being called, but they're not being hit because I do think teams are really starting to scheme pretty well against them. They're 18-1 in their last 19 games. Like,
sure.
There's a lot of successful tape out there to say, okay, well, we could fix this and this and this against them defensively. I'm not there yet. I understand the concern, but at least they're winning right now. They're winning games doing it. Last year they weren't. And that's all that really matters at this point, because just from seeing last year how stale it was, and then they got into the playoffs, and especially in the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl, we saw, okay, they can go to the next level. I know it was a different coordinator, but it just seems like this is the Sirianni Hurts offense, and they'll pull out those plays when it's necessary. And if they're winning games, I'm fine. I'm okay with it. I don't care how it looks, as long as they're winning games. And let's see where we are in 3, 4, 5 weeks. That's my opinion. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think I feel like it's more. winning cures everything, right? So it's like we're kind of like, because they've won so much, um, I think people are looking for things to kind of like look at. But I mean, I think when you look at the two units themselves, like I mean, like the Eagles' defense has played really well, like and um, I don't know, like it like you just mentioned, Mike, about Patullo. Like I just this is what the second time in 3 seasons they've had to find a late replacement at court, like for a coordinator. Um, there's a lot. I know that there's always turnover there, but at the same time, it's like there's not a lot of continuity there in terms of like how like it takes time to kind of like institute that. You know what I mean? I remember them bringing in when they brought in Vangio last year for the defense. I remember them saying um, it takes guys a little bit to kind of learn the Vangio defense. Like it's kind of something that throughout the season kind of they have to work through. And like so I wonder if that's something that's also happening with the offense here. But at the same time, uh, I think I read earlier today, I think there's been like 9 changes for offensive coordinators this year. So it is kind of like, um, even though there's been more, it feels like there's been more change here than normal. It's still like there's a lot of change league wide, in that situation. So, like with coordinators and things like that, they're forever bouncing around. But yeah, I feel like it's like a continuity thing. Like
That's a good point, because like Steichen was here his first year in 21, and about half of that year we were, I guess it was when Sirianni was calling plays, because he called plays a lot
Mhm.
early in that season, and then
Yeah,
Steichen came in and they kind of started to pick it up, and then year 2 he was here. They go to a Super Bowl. Jalen has that potential MVP year,
right.
and then Steichen leaves, and then you bring in who was the replacement? Davis, Johnson, Ben Johnson.
Johnson.
No,
Yeah,
was it? Yeah, Johnson. Johnson comes in, not very good. Even Kellen Moore last year, the first, 4 weeks were just dreadful, and then
yeah,
they picked it up. So yeah, that's a
I
great point.
mean, Hertz has had what, like 5 coordinators in like 6 years or something like that. Like,
I think going back to high school, they said he's had a different coordinator except 21 to 22,
yeah,
like
it's
every
crazy.
year every year of his career.
That's nuts. Like, there's no way to kind of build a relationship, continuity, all that.
But that's the price of winning, right? Like
Sure, yeah.
sure.
that's the price we pay.
Yeah, and then when of course, like when you are winning and you're in a big market, that job gets looked at as like like a desirable job, and 2 guys have used that job to get head coaching gigs elsewhere. You know what I mean? And that's part of it.
Or every coordinator that's worked with Jalen Hurts is ran for the hills. What does it say about Jalen Hurts? Is he toxic? Is he toxic?
Yeah.
It's the next poll.
Yeah, it's the next poll on WIP. Is Jalen Hurts toxic? Because every coordinator he has leaves within a year or two.
Oh, man.
Is Jalen Hurts a piece of shit?
Yes. WIP would tell you yes. Yes, he is. I know I mentioned in the past that like I'm kind of over criticizing Jalen Hurts because he won a Super Bowl. He doesn't really have much left to prove. But at the same time, what do we think of his play so far this season?
I mean, is it like less than desirable? Sure, but like that's the thing, is like I said this on the show a few weeks ago. I tweeted this out. Like, I don't care if he doesn't look like the best quarterback in the league. They're winning football games. Like, that does not matter to me. Would it be great? Sure, but like, if they're winning games where he throws 180 yards for 180 yards and he scores 2 touchdowns, and you know they rattle off 18 of the last 19, like, who am I to complain? I don't need him to be the MVP. I don't need him to be somebody who's not. I think he knows who he is, and I think him and Sirianni run this offense the way that they feel most comfortable. As long as they're winning games, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I think it's been a little uneven for Jalen, but that's to Dom's point. I think like we've seen it's amazing that that's like such a like we beat that topic down every year, every week we beat that topic down with Hertz, and I think it's just you know, he's proven enough, I think, at this point where like when they need him to step up, he will. Like, I mean, it's been um, to be in the Super Bowl like he's been. We've seen him perform there. Like, it's really not. I don't know what else more we can ask for a guy. Especially about a game in on the road this past week, and you know, and they win. You know what I mean? It seems kind of like seems kind of silly to focus on that, but um, I think it's just the position. I think that was like it's an over there's an overarching thing that I think comes with that, and I think Dom, you said it uh, a few shows back was like I think a lot of people just want to view him like they desperately want somebody who's in that like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson type way where he's like MVP of the league, the face of the league type. And Jalen's not that. He's also on a team that's like incredibly deep and talented. So he doesn't have to be that all as often. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like
sure.
for as great as Josh Allen, just as an example, for as great as Josh Allen is, I mean, like look at his receiver room compared to the receiver room in Philadelphia. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, or look at the running game in Buffalo versus who we have running behind this offensive line here. It's in a different class, I think. And but because like we don't see it as often, we don't see him have these Herculean efforts. It like leaves people open to kind of like pick and prod and kind of criticize it. But I'm with you. Like I think as long as they're winning, I've seen him rise to the occasion enough times for the Eagles that I'm really not concerned about his ability to do that. It's not a matter of it's not a question of anymore of whether or not he can. I know that he can.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just that because this team's so incredibly well built, um, they don't need him to do that as often. You
Sure.
know?
Agreed.
I agree.
I also
I
think I also think that really quick. I also think this year specifically so far, it's only been 2 games, but like in 2023, even though they started off that what was it 11-1, and then they lost their last 5 or 6 or whatever it was, it there were times even in that 11-1 that I felt that he couldn't really read the pocket. His pocket pressure. He had a little bit of they didn't really run a lot of plays for him to kind of take off and use his feet in the running game. And when he did, he wasn't very good at choosing the hole. And last year kind of started off similarly, where like he struggled with those things and then eventually figured it out. Where I think this year he's been able to do that, and he's been able to successfully use his legs to his advantage. And like
Mm.
I think that this year is one of the positives for him as well. I know everybody likes to talk about the other quarterback throws the ball, blah blah blah. Like, but that's just not the game anymore, and that's not who our quarterback is. And I think he's done a really good job with the pocket awareness, and being able to. I really think this year in 2 games, not that he's always ever been like this, but like I think this year specifically, again 2 games, but like he's not forcing the ball. Like there were times even in week 1, like where he looked at AJ and like he was getting ready to throw, and he knew it was not a good decision and decided to go a different way, whether it was using his legs or throwing it to Goddard or whoever. Chase check down. I think he's done a really good job these last couple of weeks. In that department.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think especially in on opening night against Dallas. I mean, he was making just excellent decisions every.
Yeah. And
Uh,
sometimes that's not like the sexy thing. Like people
no,
want him to throw the ball up to AJ, and and even last week, there were times where they sent 5, 6, 7 guys at him, and like I know Devontae dropped the one, but like if you go back and watch that play, like I remember watching that play live and being like, wow, Jalen is so comfortable with 7 guys coming at him and just knowing, okay, my guy is one-on-one and I'm going to put it in a position for him to succeed and catch the ball. And later on, He Devontae does catch that ball, inside the 10. The AJ catch was also like, remember that crazy catch he had last week, like off his helmet, or not, I don't know if it was off his helmet, but like he had the one hand on it. That was also
the one where he's falling down.
yeah, like
Yeah.
there were like 7 guys coming after him on that play, and like that's not everybody can do that, and I just
Yeah.
think that he's done really well in that department this year.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a big criticism of him the last few
That's
years.
what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I think, although he's not throwing for 250 yards like everybody wants him to, he's 2 years ago when they were in that stretch, even in 2021, like there were times where he made the wrong decision, couldn't get out of the pocket, and also like looked bad. Like all those things happened at once in his career. It looks like he is maturing and finally being able to say, okay, well, I'm not going to force it here. I'm not going to force it there. I know that the pressure's coming. I know I'm going to pick my hole and I'm going to run when I have to run, and I'm going to look good doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. You guys ready to do some against the spread here?
Sure.
Actually, before we get into that, let's talk about the Eagles and Rams this coming week. How are you guys feeling about it?
It's
Did I throw you off with that question?
no. I guess if we're going back to because I obviously they won last week, and I keep thinking back to the episode we had where we talked about their schedule and what I thought they were going to win. We were doing the wins and losses, and I said that they were going to lose against Kansas City. I talked to somebody the game before the game this past Sunday, and I told them, I thought that the Eagles were going to lose initially, but after seeing how Kansas City played week 1, I was, I thought maybe there was a possibility that they win. Now I'm thinking the opposite for this game with the Rams, where I said originally that they were going to win, but now we're 2 weeks into the season. We kind of know what the Rams are. We know what the Eagles are at this point. I think it's going to be a lot tougher than I thought. I think the Rams are better than a lot of people are giving them credit for. I know they were Super Bowl, NFC Super Bowl, candidates, but like to go all the way. But I think that defense is really underrated. I think that defensive line is really underrated. I think Devontae Adams and Puka are arguably the best or top 5 in the league duo. Stafford, like that whole back thing is like was just so he didn't have to play in training camp. Like he fooled everybody. The running game seems pretty good. Like I think this is going to be a hard fought game, and I think if the Eagles can execute, they can win. But like it's going to be a lot harder than I initially thought.
Yeah. I think the Rams also have a pretty good. They have a pretty good offensive line, and it's always essential. As the Cincinnati Bengals are finding out, but it's like, it's for an older quarterback like Stafford who can still play, but it's just there's a lot of wear and tear there and mileage. But no, I mean I agree with all that. I think they're a pretty good team, and I just think too, like it's hard to come here and like it's hard to play the Eagles anyway, but it's hard, I think, especially to come here and play them. So
yeah, you're right. The Eagles are going to win. You just sold me, honestly. Seriously, I'm dead serious.
I was going to say,
how can I I don't know.
I'm just going to leave this here. You both said I have our predictions pulled up for the Eagles season. You both said they would lose against Kansas City and win against LA. I had them winning against Kansas City and losing in LA, and I'm sticking with that. I think they're going to struggle with the Rams.
Honestly, like he just said that. Like Mark just said that, and I'm like thinking in my head, like if I was at that game and like they played like the Rocky, I'm ready to run through a wall.
Just in.
Yeah, I'm in. You sold me.
You said 3 words.
No, absolutely not.
You
said 3 words, and I'm in.
We're
going to win Super Bowl. It's crazy.
No, it's hard though. Like I mean, because they are like. There's like a comfortability with the Eagles. Like they know exactly who they are. And I think that comes with that experience of like, just there's been a lot of like, even from the very first Super Bowl team, there were still some like residual guys left over when they went to the last, not the one they just won, but the one prior to that. there were still some guys left over from that group. And I think that goes a long, long way. And then, like, when you start, filtering in more young players, um, they walk into this environment where there's this like really, really strong cultural aspect of it is like, hey, this is how we do things here. Like, and then like you have the banners to prove it. It's like, it's hard not to buy into that. You know what I mean? And it's just a kind of winning begets more winning. It's just like, it's just how it works.
Yeah.
And that lasts a long time. That kind of like lasting like impact on the organization of like, um, once you win or win, if you're lucky enough to win more than once, it then becomes like this like it it lasts. You know what I mean? It kind of lasts, and it gives the organization like kind of everybody in it kind of gets that rub from being a part of like a championship team. So yeah, I mean, like the Rams are good, but I mean, like the Eagles are, at least on paper. I mean, like the game still has to be played, right? But like it's, on paper, it's hard to ever pick against them, really, like with the way they're built.
I can just see I will not be at the game, but like I could just see myself at the game. It's like 3:45, the end of the fourth quarter. Like Stafford gets up from a sack, he's limping. It's 3rd and 2, and like they're playing the Rocky music, and then they do like where she goes win, and he goes, "What are we waiting for?" And then the whole crowd just goes nuts, and then you hear him say 3rd and 2. They sack Stafford. Yeah, I've already played in my head. This is happening. They sack him. Game over. Yeah,
You're drinking the Kool-Aid over there.
Yeah.
You're in.
They might not lose this year.
17-0.
17-0. Well, no, they would. What would it be? Not 20? 20-0?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, that's my.
I was talking regular season, but yes, they're going to be the first team ever to go 20-0.
What else is there to do?
No, there's nothing. Yeah, the Sixers are going to stink. The Flyers are going to stink. The Phillies are going to have a World Series by that point.
Yes. You're all in.
Yep.
So in a year span, we're gonna be celebrating a World Series championship and 2 Super Bowls.
Imagine.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Listen, I'm in.
You know what's so funny though? Like these people that sit here and say like it is hard to go back to back in any sport, but like
Sure.
but like we're talking like it's not like it's happened one time in 60 years. Like it's happened 9 times that teams go back to back. Like it's very doable. It's not that crazy.
What does that say about the league? Because it hasn't really happened 9 times.
I believe the number is 9. 9 back-to-back champions.
That's a lot.
Super Bowl champions.
60
in
years.
60 years. Well, how many times? I wonder how many times this happened. Like, are you saying in a bad way or a good way? Because basketball is kind of like that. Because like basketball has like decades of like the team that dominate, like the Bulls in the 90s, the Lakers in the 2000s, the Spurs in the 2000s, Golden State in the 2010s.
Yeah.
There are definitely like.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or bad for the league. It's bad in the sense of like, I guess parity
but I guess it's different. Sorry, go ahead. Finish your point.
But like, when there's only 1 or 2 teams that can win it every year, like I don't know, that's good for the product. But at the same time, that creates villains, which can create eyes,
right?
And can create,
can there's a
storyline and storyline. Yeah, no, sure, I get it. So,
but my thought is that like I think that's good for the league because, again, like all those things you're saying, also, like I was talking to my wife about it today because we were talking about like where the Sixers and the Flyers kind of fit into this timeline with the Phillies and the Eagles, and like I told her, I said I think the Eagles are going to be. I don't know if they'll be Super Bowl champion contenders every year, but I think that as long as Hurts is here and they're succeeding like this and he's playing like this and they're able to win games, like this is the next 10 years probably of success in the fact that like they're going to be like the Steelers, right? Like the Steelers of the 2000s to the 2010s, like Roethlisberger era, like where they're in the playoffs every year. They may fall short, like even like the Stafford Rams, like they're in it every year and they're always contenders, but like they may not win it every year. And I kind of feel like the Eagles are in that, but like I think that doesn't happen often in the NFL. I think there are only 2 or 3 teams that do that, but they don't win every year.
We can shit all over. Like I'm not going to because I think he gets a ton amount of shit in the city. But like we can shit all over Donovan McNabb and
Of
Andy
course.
Reid. But like they still had tremendous success and had the ability to win it every year from like 2000 to 2010 or whatever year it was.
When we were talking about it earlier with Mark said something about like Hurts and how we were succeeding with it, and like I was going to bring that up where like we've had McNabb where he looked like a top 5 quarterback in the league, and like they didn't win anything. Like you could sit here and say Josh Allen's a great example, Lamar Jackson's a great example. Like they're MVPs of the league, and like they just can't get over the hump. But like we have the guy that does it the right way, that does it the right way in the sense that this is how they win, and like he is getting over the hump. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He outplayed Mahomes in both. Like he won one. Like he's the guy that does beat Mahomes. He's the guy that outplays Mahomes. Like, but yeah, that's a great example. But and also too, like that whole era of Philly sports. Like we are lucky. Our generation is lucky to the Flyers making the playoffs. I've said this a million times on the show, but like the Flyers making the playoffs 20 of 18 years or whatever, or 18 of 20 years that they did when we were growing up. Like the Sixers were not very good, but like the Eagles having all that success with Reid and McNabb, the Phillies having the 08 to 11 run. Like we've had some really great years to watch where, how many times have the Eagles and the Phillies overlapped each other where they both have a chance to legitimately win? Like you could go back to the 08 to 11 run. The Eagles they were good, but like they made an NFC championship game in that run, but like they weren't legit like they are now.
Sure.
The Phillies were, but like now the Phillies
it was a very small window. It was a very small window.
This was in the 100+ years that like the Phillies have been around, and the almost 100 years of the Eagles. Like this doesn't happen often, and we're very lucky in the last 25 years to really have this much success in always making the postseason and always going for a run, always being a contender in most of our sports in most of those 25 years. Yeah. It's just what do you define as successful? That's the subjective.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's measured by championships.
Sure.
That's how people remember you.
But like we like, how many have we seen where they've at least gotten as close as they possibly can? Like the 04, we've seen the Flyers in 04 get to the semis. Well, I don't remember. What was it, 97? I don't remember 97. I was
against the Red Wings.
What?
Against the Red Wings?
Yeah, I was wearing diapers.
Or was that 95?
No, I think it was 97. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 97, I don't remember. But like 04, what was it, 09? They went back
2010.
Well, and also, but then they played the Penguins in the
Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah. Like what was it, 08 or 09? I think it was 08, wasn't it? It was either 08 or 09.
It was right around there.
2010, like 2012 was a fun ride. Like the Phillies 08 to 11, and then these last 4 years, like the Eagles, the Eagles, even in the Andy Reid years, like they made it to 3 or 4 NFC Championship games. Like there's been a lot of success for us, and people like our parents and our grandparents, those generations that like had to wait until they were, in their late adult years to really enjoy this.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. As a diehard Flyers fan, I haven't enjoyed anything. I haven't watched them in a single cup.
Because it's been, I hear you.
I'm 33 years old. Like, I haven't seen one goddamn thing.
I hear you, but like,
speak for yourself.
But I think these last like 10 or 15 years have, or what's it, 2012, however many years ago. Not a math guy. Since that 2012, run, it was like, I know it's been tough. It's been very mediocrity, very mediocre, but like I think it's been so bad in that we forget, 2010 and 2004 and always making the playoffs. Like I think they only missed the playoffs twice from like 94 to 2012. Like that counts for something to me. And it's hindered because like it has a dark shadow over it because of these last,
and
10 or 12 years.
And I said it before, you get remembered based on championships. That's how people.
No,
remember.
for sure, absolutely. I mean, that's why Iverson and Lindros are. I mean, Iverson's I think viewed differently, but Lindros is not viewed in the same breath as Iverson and Dawkins. I mean, neither of those guys won either.
To be
but
honest, it's kind of crazy. Like, I understand why people love Allen Iverson. It's kind of crazy the love that he does get when you look at what little he accomplished.
Well, I think because he did it.
success-wise.
I think because he did it. He was the guy that like put up 45 in the playoffs. Like he averaged like 30 something.
Yeah, but in a sport like basketball, where when you have one elite level player, it's easy to win.
That's not true.
It's the easiest sport where
there's only one team in the last like 25 years that have done that. Has done that.
Okay.
It's Dirk. Dirk's the only guy. Like if you take Dirk off the Dallas
Sure.
team in 2011, whatever it was, like they don't even make the playoffs. But like no,
It's a
seriously.
very-
The Lakers team that they played is arguably the greatest team that's ever been.
Sure, no, and I'm not disputing that, but like Allen Iverson hasn't done, had zero team success, zero. He had the one year where they got
That's
there.
not true. He made the
Sure.
playoffs every year.
I think
Is that the
think
goal?
Iverson.
No, it's not. But like, I mean, we're you could say the same thing about a million other players. Dan Marino, like it's
Sure.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to win a championship. Like that's the thing. Like I view Allen Iverson as a winner, although he's never won. I view Dan Marino's a winner. He's never won, but like, and there are guys who have won that are losers. Like, then there are guys that have never won that are losers. James Harden, like he's Chris Paul, like those guys are actual losers to me. Like, I just think that I don't know if you're aware of what he did in the playoffs by himself. Like it was
Never
ridiculous.
won. Never won. Sorry, Mark, we cut you off.
No.
Go ahead.
It's all right. No, I was just going to say about Iverson. I think Iverson's impact on not just Philadelphia sports, but I think just basketball, the sport of basketball.
Yeah.
There's like he gets remembered. I think the love that he gets and stuff, it comes from like I think there's like a cultural aspect there, like with AI that like other players and things like that didn't have. I think he was somewhat of a trailblazer in the sense that like, with the fashion and all, he was very like of his time, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
like in an era where like guys really weren't, the NBA kind of tried to like more or less mute that with guys. Like Iverson was like unapologetically himself, and with the fashion and the like, and then he was out there and he was an MVP caliber player on top of it. I think that's like why he has that kind of like that impact on, and plus the fact too, like I think to be his size and to be as good as he was, especially in an era that was like notoriously physical. I think that's like a real like, Iverson's like kind of reputation in terms of like, I think a lot of people consider him like a dog for his era because he was like the 6-foot guard from Georgetown with like, with like the attitude and things like that.
He's exactly what Philly is.
He was a very good representation of like Philadelphia. And I think that could have worked in some other, like, I'm sure like a city, like I think he ended up playing there, but like a city like Detroit would have reveled in that. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of like, there's certain athletes that come along like that. I think he kind of transcended that. It was like the right time and the right era. And then, like I remember 01 pretty vividly, and it was, I mean, the season was, they had some talent, but they weren't, the Lakers were, you know what I mean? Like those Lakers teams were very, very good.
You could argue it's the greatest team that's ever been.
Yeah. I mean, Kobe and Shaq, like when they were like at the peak of their powers, and, they were kind of like a Cinderella team, I think, that year.
Yeah.
But
it was a miracle they made it. It was a miracle that they made it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just don't understand why you have to win a championship to be beloved. Like, I don't know.
You don't necessarily have to win a championship to be beloved, but I guess my thing is the hypocrisy of like this city hates Donovan McNabb and he had a far more successful career. Didn't win the whole thing, but I would say he had a more successful career than Allen Iverson. But everybody loves Allen Iverson and hates McNabb.
Because I will say this about Iverson. the whole like he's the most beloved athlete in the city right now, like which he probably is. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but like I remember being a kid and like especially towards the end of the Iverson era, like everybody being sick of him and like wanting him gone, and like we kind of gloss over that. So I would agree with that part, but the guy is a Hall of Fame
Sure.
great. Like it's the same thing with Dawkins. Like we love Dawkins. Dawkins never won anything here.
I
And
agree.
the McNabb thing is like McNabb also had Andy Reid. He also had top 5 defenses in that era.
Sure. Yeah.
And he was throwing to me and you, but like he had Brian Westbrook, who was a very good running back, like a great offensive line every year. Like it's he had the things Iverson didn't, and I think that's why. And also McNabb, when the biggest moments came in the playoffs, he did not perform, and Iverson did. They didn't wind up. They wound up not winning series, but like we just saw Joel Embiid 2 years ago average 35 in the playoffs, and they lost the series. Like that's just the way the sport goes. It's just how the sport's played.
Fair enough. We got to move on because we don't have enough time for all this.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do against the spread. So a little bit of a recap so far.
How bad am I?
We didn't do a recap last week because Dom, like 40 minutes into the show, my house turned into absolute pandemonium, and I had to get off the show.
I figured from the text I saw in the
yes, we had to end the show early, so we didn't get to do it. So I'll do a recap of week 1. Week 1, I went 4-1. Dom, you went 1-4.
I was gonna say I'm gonna over. I thought I went over.
You went 1-4. Mark went 4-1 as well. So
Jesus.
in week 2, I went 4-1 again. Dom, you went 4-1, and Mark went 3-2. So that brings our totals to me. I mean, this is a miracle that I'm this good so far through 2 weeks. 8-2. Mark is 7-3, and Dom, you are 5-5.
Okay, I'm 500.
500. So that brings us to week 3. Who wants to start us off here?
We could go by the leaders.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go. We talked about it a little bit. I'm gonna go Rams and Eagles, and I said I give the Rams the win. So I'm gonna take the points. Rams plus 3.5. I have the Dolphins and Bills. It's a big line, but the Dolphins are kind of a train wreck. Tua stinks, and Mike McDaniels is very close to getting fired. So I have the Bills minus 11.5.
Eagles new OC.
Sure, yeah, sure. Why not? I'm game. That's a little spicy. I like that. I got the Packers and the Browns. The Browns are also kind of a mess. Packers on the road minus 8.5. It's a big line for a road team, but give me the points. Or I'm taking points there. Then I'm going the Cincinnati Bengals and Minnesota Vikings in the battle of the backup quarterbacks because JJ McCarthy's out for a little while, isn't he?
Yeah, Carson Wentz could start against Hurts in a couple weeks.
So it'll be Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning in this game. Give me under 42.5.
Really quick, did you guys hear that this is going to be the first time ever a quarterback has started a game for 5 different teams 5 years in a row? Carson Wentz.
That's nuts.
Yep. Wow.
And that's not a good stat to have.
No. I thought maybe like Chase Daniel would have that, or Dan Orlovsky or somebody, but or Ryan Fitzpatrick, like somebody that moved around a lot. But go ahead, sorry.
But 5 different years is 5 straight years is kind of
right.
And then I have Detroit and Baltimore in what could be a very fun game. It's a high over under, but give me the over of 51.5 on Monday Night Football.
I like it.
So there you go.
All right. So I'm gonna go with. I also have the Browns and Packers, but I was gonna take the Browns at plus 8.5. I have them. I have the Seahawks at minus 7.
All right.
And I have the Colts at 3.5.
Colts plus 3.5.
Yes.
What that is.
Wait, is it? Are they plus 3.5?
So I don't have that line in front of me. So
let me double check. I have them as the favorites, but
okay. Then you are probably correct. I actually didn't have that line in front of me.
Just want to double check. Yeah, they're minus 3.5 against the Titans.
All right.
And so I have the under for Minnesota and Cincinnati as well, because I think that's an easy one.
It's almost like too easy that like
Yeah.
it's probably gonna go super.
Yeah,
over now.
It's gonna. I thought about it too. It's gonna be like 100 points total.
Yeah.
Although Jake Brown, I mean, he was out there slinging it the
He
other night.
slings. He
so,
slings.
Yeah. And I
He
have.
doesn't sling it very good, but he slings.
Yeah. And I got Dallas and Chicago. I have the over for that 50.5.
It's a large over under as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm expecting no defense to be played in that game.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
that's totally fair.
Well, the Giants just like put 40 points on them too. All right, so I have a couple of the same things. So I have Bengals Vikings -3. I'm on the Wentz wagon this week.
Comeback season.
I've got the Broncos at Chargers. I got the Chargers -2.5. Chargers look good.
I was gonna say, are the Chargers good? I don't know.
I don't know.
We've been talking about it for months. I'm tired of hearing about.
I want them to lose every possible game.
Until Herbert like does something productive.
I'm also not.
Aside from dating Madison Beer, then who? Like, I don't care about Justin Herbert.
I am very anti Denver, so because I don't like their
like the city or the
no the coach. I don't like the coach. Once the coach is gone, I don't really
it's
care.
still Sean Payton, right?
Yeah.
What beef do you have?
I don't like Sean Payton. I don't think he's a good coach.
I mean, been fairly successful.
He's got one Super Bowl. He hasn't done shit since.
All right, fair enough.
Just like Iverson hasn't done shit.
Iverson doesn't have a championship.
Packers Browns. I've also got the Packers -8.5. I actually thought about going the other way too. I know Mark, you did. I kind of just closed my eyes and like flip the coin kind of thing.
And that, my friends, is why you went 1-4 than 4.
Correct.
You know,
it's a bold strategy. Bold strategy,
Yes.
Cotton.
yes.
And then I've got the Broncos Chargers over 45.5. And I also have the Lions Ravens Monday night. I think it's gonna be a shootout. The Ravens might put up 50 themselves. They've done it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the Lions obviously put up a lot of points this past week, but it's 51.5 over.
Yep.
So that's what I got.
All right, sounds good, and we'll see what happens there. You guys got anything final talking points you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No.
We got hockey training camp starts this week.
Yep.
Excited.
Oh shit! It hasn't even started yet. Wow.
No.
When does the season start? Like October 5th?
7th, I think. I think
Okay.
it's like the 7th, right around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Carter Hart will not be back with the Flyers. It sounds like, in case anybody cared.
I kind of hope the Flyers lose a lot of games this year.
Gavin McKenna.
Well, it's not even that. I think it's one more year. I think you could sell the one more year thing, and I know. I just saw your face.
Who, mine?
Yeah,
That was involuntary too.
I
That
know
was
you
just-
just went.
Yeah.
Like you just did that look.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. I just don't think this is the year to go
Right.
all in for it yet.
and which I agree.
Next offseason, if they don't like do something, then
Connor
then
McDavid will be a Philadelphia Flyer next year, right?
it's McDavid.
Or Kaprizov. We give him $20 million a year because apparently he doesn't want 16 from.
Listen,
Minnesota.
I'll take out a small loan for him and Kyle Schwarber. Him and Kyle Schwarber. Why?
Well, that would be a very big loan.
It's all right. But yeah, I think once June or July 1 hits, because that's usually when free agency starts, right?
Mhm.
I think once the draft comes and you get through the draft and free agency starts, I think then it's time to hit the not the panic button, but like all right, now it's time to do something. Obviously it's going to depend on who is available, but I think Dana's got a big trade in him. I do. I really think he's gonna like do something huge next offseason.
Yeah,
I think he's itching. I really do.
After he gets Gavin McKenna.
Yes.
Then the time
They traded for Brady Tkachuk.
But by the way,
No, they do both of those things.
We're gonna have to make the Penn State outdoor game happen. Like
Yes.
I that's gotta be.
I would like to go to that.
I would too. That'd be awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great. It'd be
I don't even
sick.
care for the game. I just want to go for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, I do care for the game, but like I don't care. I'm not like a fan of Penn State or Michigan or
Me
do
neither.
they play Michigan State or
I think Ohio State, I believe.
that's lame.
Right? They might not even announce who they're playing yet.
Regardless, whoever they play, I would like to go there just for the experience, but Yeah, so next year we'll have, by this point next year, Gavin McKenna, Brady Kachuk, and Matt Michkov on the same line. And then Kaprizov will be on the same line with
it is
McKinnon.
Michigan State. Sorry.
Okay, is it?
Michigan
I
State.
for some I don't know. I don't know if I saw that or just guessed it. I don't know.
No,
but-
it's Michigan. It's
So
Michigan State, and then the women's team's also playing an outdoor game against Robert Morris University.
Oh,
They're
okay.
still
He's a good guy.
I don't know why that made me laugh. That was stupid.
Very. It says more about you than me.
Yeah, yes, no, I'm aware. I got problems. All right, you guys ready to get out of here?
Yes.
Oh man, it's always a fun time. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and also go subscribe on YouTube. We will see everybody next Tuesday. See you then. Go Birds.